Hello, people of YouTube. I'm going to be doing an Eidolon hunt build for Chroma. Now, I know a lot of the up-and-comers or new people that see that the best way to get arcanes are to hunt down the Eidolon tier list. Thank goodness. I was not a fan of the raids. No offense to anybody who liked them. They were fine. It just wasn't my thing. Especially the fact that you could only get one. You could do one mission per day. Really? Really? Alright. So today I'm going to be doing Chroma. I'll do a couple of the other builds just because I mean, every time I jump into a random group of people, let's say in the plains, just because I want to test out my amp or something like that, I'm really curious to see, what's going on. How strong my amp is, how strong my weapons are against the tier 1 Eidolon, the tier list. And the people that end up joining, it's like they don't understand why we use the people that we use. And you can use a lot of Warframes. You just have to use them very specifically, and understand what weapons pair up with good Warframes. Now, there's a couple of people who are gonna like the Vectus or the Rubico, or say, oh, you need a Riven to beat the tier list. That is not true. You honestly just need a good team. The best team that I run with is a Blessed Trinity. She is the one that's going to be taking care of the lures. It is everybody's job, except the Chroma, in my opinion, to kill the Vombalus, or the little bitty blooms, the little bitty purple energy things that happen on the Gonchulist, to revive his shields. As a Chroma, you should always be willing to help, but in my opinion, it's worth more effort for the Chroma to actually revive the other allies or their pets during a hunt, if you have time. The second objective of a Chroma, in my opinion, should be obviously staying alive and killing the terror list. Now, they have made a couple of changes to Chroma, where his abilities, like his Vex armor and Fury, is projected onto the other allies. Now, you can put a whole bunch of range on him. That's not, in my opinion, it's not ideal. I still think that Chroma is a solo player. Now, you're going to see a couple of different things in here. Let's go ahead and jump into the build. So obviously Power Drift. I like Corrosive Projection. It can be the Rifle Aura, Rifle Amp. I personally didn't want a Forma for that. It doesn't, I just don't like it overall. I like to play a little bit more equaled out than, thrown in at like this super strong for this one specific reason only. I'm not a fan. But obviously, as you can see, I'm looking at 200%, 209% duration, and 305% strength. Now that's quite a bit, and a lot of people don't have Augur secrets. One, the drop rate's pretty low, and two, people seem to be charging an arm and a leg for it. Even 90 platinum or 80 platinum or whatever is a lot, even to me. I don't care who you are. I think the market has been messed up, but that's a whole other issue. We're going with Transient Fortitude. I did have that one maxed out. Blind Rage and Narrow-Minded. I'm leaving those both at an R8. I think if I go down any more on either one of them, it's going to act a little funky, and the efficiency is already really low on Chroma, in my opinion. Now, since arcanes are relatively easier to get now, there's two different ways that you can play this, and the arcanes will be kind of similar. Arcane Guardian, and we'll jump to that one, and I don't have them all maxed out. I'm still beginning just like everybody else. I was preoccupied with other stuff. This is going to give you armor. Now, it's just a chance to last for a certain certain amount of time. But if you do get a rank 3, that's where I'd push it to. I wouldn't stop at like rank 1 or 2. Just because of that +1 arcane revive. That's nice. The other thing that I like to point out is if you're fighting the Eidolon, do Arcane Nullifier, and if you don't have Guardian, put a Nullifier on each one of your openings for your Arcanes. It's to resist magnetic damage. What do the Eidolons do? Magnetic damage! Who'd have thought? Congratulations to all of us who figured that out. Okay. Now, obviously, the one thing that I would change in here is for Augur Secrets, for those of you who don't have this mod, I would actually swap it out with Augur Message. It's a relatively cheap mod. It's going to give you more duration, and I love duration on Chroma. I don't like spamming abilities regardless. I like it just to stay on. But I like to be a lazy player. And Chroma by no means is a lazy Warframe. I don't care what you guys say. He does the majority of the damage, yes. He is built to be a tank and to be the heavy hitter, but you need to play universally to help the team. This is a team game. I mean, it's always better to get good by yourself, but you really want to focus on a team. Now, the weapons. The Lanka. I'm not a fan of sniper rifles. I don't like them. I think they're boring. I think they're a pain in the butt. I like this better than the Opticore, though. The whole charge and it shoots automatically drives me nuts with Opticore. At least I can hold the trigger for a little bit of time before shooting it and waiting until I'm 100% accurate on the Eidolon parts. Serration, split chamber, vial acceleration. Vigilant armaments, for those of you who don't know, this is a multi-shot. And then I'm just doing radiation. Status doesn't matter for them if you guys don't already know, so I wouldn't worry about that. The crit damage, in my opinion, is worth it. The vial acceleration. Now, frustrating, in my opinion. I was using speed trigger instead of vial acceleration. I can do without that extra 15% damage. I don't like to. I know it's a faster fire rate, and I don't like using it regardless, but this one, it seems to work out. Now, to go ahead and show, that's a decent amount speed to charge. Because basically, it's just one Mississippi. And that's decent. Now, a lot of people are using melee weapons like the Despair, the Spera, anything that does self-damaging, or they use a melee weapon. I personally like a Zenostar, and I just made a Zenostar video. I hope you guys check it out. It's a spectacular build. I use it for everything now. Whether it's Chroma with his Fury damage, with Valkyr and her Hysteria, with Excalibur and his Chromatic Blade build. It's just phenomenal. What it is built for, just a real quick recap, is it's actually meant for the disc build. The weapon itself, the Zenostar, the big blade, is affected by a whole bunch of things. But the disc itself, when you throw it out to do the radius kill, the AoE damage, the disc isn't affected by some mods like Berserker, Condition Overload, and 1 or 2. There's also a couple abilities that do not make that disc faster. I would definitely suggest looking in the wiki or watching my video. This is the build. Now, I will show you the rhythm real quick. It's not a god one, but I think, in my opinion, that is a better overall damage for that disc build instead. And the Prisma Angstrom. I prefer this weapon, and I know I'm going all over the place. This is what I kind of threw on. This is to do self-damage to the Chroma. I don't want to die. I don't want to do a lot of damage, but I do want to do just enough to get rid of that shield completely, and then start doing little bitty ticks of damage on my health to get that Fury up. I'm doing stunning speed, completely maxed, and I should probably level this up. I just haven't yet. The fire rate on anemic agility. I'm doing damage, magazine capacity, more damage, and more reload speed. Now, the ones that are damaged are just these two, pretty much. That is enough. You don't need any more. But the magazine, the fire rate, the reload speed, those are important. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out, and I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I'm basically looking at Eximuses, and I'm also looking at level 155. Now, I have paused the enemies to show you guys the damage that it's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and simulate them real quick. Let me throw up my energy. So, when I'm in the plains, I'm going to Vex Armor. Now, Vex Armor is pretty much the only one I use. I don't use a whole melting ward. I might throw it on there if I have a whole bunch of energy left during the Gauntless or the Hydraless. It kind of depends. In my opinion, the Hydraless I think is a little bit stronger, just because of those stupid bumblebee shields. But as I shoot, it destroys the shield. It just like bleeds away. But I'm only doing small ticks on the health. And once I get to the max, which is 838 for Fury, and the 1067 for my actual armor. Now, look at my timer down below in the bottom right-hand corner. I have 9 seconds left. You can spam it. I didn't realize this like right in the beginning, and I was this is the best thing they've added to Chroma. I don't care what people say. I think he's way better now. The reason why is my bonuses, they have not disappeared. Every single time I do my ability, they're gonna stay there. So I now have 50 seconds, 52 seconds, of whatever I need to do until I go ahead and do that again. So if I'm fighting the Eidolon, jump out, shoot whoever, blah, 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 do anything you need to do. Get rid of the shield on that Eidolon, go back into your Chroma, throw on his ability, and go help the group. It's a lifesaver. Now, Blanca, you do not need a rhythm. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I already did simulate those. Let me kill some. Alright, simulate again. Got enough energy. I'm going to go ahead and shoot these guys in the head, because that's where you want to be aiming anyways. One shot. Not one shot. Did I miss his head? There we go. A lot more damage. Obviously, you're not going to be fighting these guys. But you can tell they're just doing quite a bit. Ooh, quite a bit of damage. Now, not only that. Now, the reason why I bring the Zenostar to the plains to do an Eidolon hunt, and I would probably swap this with something else. I haven't completely decided, but I'll get into it another day. Keep an eye out for the Eidolon melee weapon that you can use. Now, the Zenostar, like I said, it has... it's more well-rounded. I'm going to actually show you how much damage it can actually do with Chroma's... actually, and I'll spawn 2 complete sets of those Eximuses. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do my Vexing Armor. I'm going to go ahead and ramp up my Fury all the way to 838. Now I'm topped off. I'm a reload junkie. I can't help myself. Now I am going to pull out the Zenostar. Now, I'm going to throw this out there, and you're going to see how much damage this does. And it's so much fun. I love it. Alright. So it starts off 45 seconds. Obviously, let's say a Bombarder Eximus isn't going to take too much damage in the beginning, but as it goes on, you can see those numbers are getting into like the tens of thousands, the 20s of thousands. So we're looking at about 23, 24 seconds left, which is about 20, 21 seconds, give or take, 22 seconds, give or take, that it takes to kill that entire grouping. Now, I know they were paused. But what you're looking at was the damage that Chroma was doing. When the Eidolon falls down, after you kill his joints, there's going to be a whole bunch of little bitty Vombulas that are going to his aid. Now, as he falls down, I pull out my Zenostar, and then I throw it out to as close as I can to the center of that Eidolon. That way, as the Vombulas come in, you're stripping their armor to put them into their corporeal form, and then all you have to do is shoot them once with your Tenno. Now, even if you have a group where, let's say, someone hasn't been working on their operator or their amp, it doesn't matter. They only have to shoot them once. They don't have to shoot them 3 or 4 times to strip off that armor first. And that is why I bring this guy, the Zenostar. I think it's a more universal thing. Nobody else has it. And as a Chroma, you're supposed to be the damage dealing person. And that's kind of my thoughts about that. Oh, wow, that was a lot. Okay. Now, just in case you guys are like, oh, I don't know, I don't have a Zenostar. What am I gonna do? Let's see. There is a couple of different things you can do. Obviously, I guess I would say bring a whip, like the Atarax or the Skullak, or something that has a decent amount of range and speed. It would be to strip off the armor on those Vombulas. As the Chroma, you should be, the team player doing the damage. The corporeal form of the Vombulas, the blooms, that's kind of the rest of the team's job, in my opinion, including the lures, which kind of effort and paid depending on how people like to play. But if we all played well with each other, then we wouldn't be like, oh, this person sucks. I need to go, jump in recruiting and get a good team. They're already understanding what's going on. So let's keep this game afloat, man. Let's see here. Now, this Spara. Now, there's a build on there, and I'm going to give credit to Brosamine, I think, and I'll look it up. Give me a second. There was a build with an Oberon. I'm basically suggesting that the Sarpa with a specific build will actually lower the armor rating of the Eidolon, which is very interesting. And you shouldn't shoot it more than, what was it, like 5 times, something bizarre like that. It did a little bit of damage. I still like my build better, but for an individual, for a single person, for a solo, I really like the idea of using the Sarpa. It was, let's see. Yeah, it was made by Brosamine. It was called Warframe Academia Shattering Impact on the Sarpa, and why the Shattering Impact was the only thing you needed on there. I don't usually like to suggest other people's things, but I thought it was amazing. I haven't seen anything like that. Nobody else has come out with anything like that. I just don't want to take credit for something I didn't do. But that would be the alternative to the Zenostar or a whip of a weapon or something with long range. I mean, I like Zaws just like everybody else. You could use one of those. I love my Plague Kiwar. Now, a lot of people, and I'll just go over this briefly. For a companion, you can bring a Kavat for charm, or you can bring. I personally like to bring a Sentinel. I've always been a Sentinel person. I will either bring the Carrier Prime or the Helios, but I will never. Well, not never, but almost never put a weapon on the Sentinel. The reason why is you want the Sentinel to be someone that vacuums up stuff, maybe to scan stuff with the Helios. That's pretty much what you want to do. You don't need it for damage. I mean, I even have a ribbon for my Sweeper Prime, but I don't use it anymore because I would prefer my companion to stay alive more often and actually revolve around a specific function, and then build the rest of my tunnel loadout for something a little bit more focus for just me, not including, what an extra character can do, like a companion, sentinel, kubro, kavat, yada yada yada. So keep that in mind. Now, like I've said in the past, I'm not doing this for the likes and the subscribes, even though I would like them. I actually do this for the players. I want everybody to kind of get an understanding that everything that you see out there, from the popular guys to the unpopular guys on YouTube, and I'm including in the unpopular, that there's more than one way to do something. Um, there's more. It doesn't have to be a one function thing. It should be, more universal. I have a Warframe that does a specific thing, yes, but I have other things that complement it, and you're looking for that completion of a complete build that does all aspects of something that the other thing can't. And that's what I really like about. Well, I love the Zenostar. Don't get me wrong, um, and I love playing Chroma as in the Eidolon hunt as the character. Now, the ones that I like to keep around are going to be the Trinities that bless, like I said. Um, I don't mind an Octavia build. You don't see very many of them out there. I really like it when people bring her. I do like Volt, and I do like Harrow. Now, Harrow, Harrow players, come on, man. You need to time out being invincible so that I don't get hit by radiation. But that's why I went over the arcane that's very common, which is called Arcane Nullifier. So even if you have, let's say, two of them, put one down here and one up here where Arcane Guardian is, since Arcane Guardian is a little bit more rare. I prefer more chances for Nullifier to work, for less damage on Magnetize, especially considering that's what the Eidolons do. Alright, guys. As always, send a like. Oh, and you know what? If you guys have any suggestions on a build or you have a question, go ahead and let me know. And just to let some people know that do like to message me like, oh, you said this. I didn't. I'll clarify. You can find the timestamp. I try not to use any foul language. I try to keep this as PG as possible, considering how much of the younger viewers are out there and have started to join Warframe. Welcome. Alright, guys. Have a good one.